find that way to market, to sell, and to grow your business in a way that's completely aligned with who you are. Because success in business, I believe, is not about shouting louder, but about resonating deeper. And nothing attracts clients faster than a message that hits home. Hello and welcome to the Art to Value Whispering podcast. I'm your host, Melitta Campbell, business coach, value whisperer, and advocate for introverted female experts who want to grow a business that feels aligned, meaningful, and impactful. Each week, I explore what it really takes to create a quietly impactful business, one that thrives through meaningful marketing, value-driven sales, and self-leadership. So if you're ready to attract more of your dream clients, sell with confidence, and create lasting success on your own terms, you're in the right place. Now, last week, I was questioned on that introduction and one specific thing in particular. And I want to explore that today because you may be thinking the same thing and it may be holding you back. So I'll stop being cryptic and tell you what that is. So I talk about what it takes to create a quietly impactful business. And this particular person questioned, well, isn't that slow? Quietly impactful sounds like it's kind of impactful and it's going to take a long time to get there. And I thought that was so interesting because I can understand where they're coming from, but maybe I need to change my messaging because in reality, what I see time and time again is it's faster because there's less resistance. When you're being quietly impactful, there's much less resistance on your side when everything you're doing is aligned to your vision, your values, the way you want to create an impact in the world, and less resistance from your clients when you build a step-by-step journey that is perfectly created for them. And so it feels smooth and effortless. And because there's less resistance on both sides and the whole process just feels so natural and right, then it's easier for you to implement consistently and with joy and the right energy, and therefore connect the right people who really resonate with what you're saying, and therefore become, when you have that sales conversation, they are more likely to become a client because they're the right people to be having that conversation with in the first place. But let me unpick that a little bit because I think this is a concept that's really key to understand. Because if you are thinking that to run a business that feels like you, that feels right, is slow, you may be adopting techniques and tactics and strategies that just aren't right for you and your business. And therefore, you're not growing fast. You're investing too much time and energy in the wrong things. And you're not attracting the right people into your world, the right people and opportunities that will help grow your business and faster. So firstly, when you are clear about your true value and your dream client, your content lands better and resonates more deeply with the right people. So your true value, it's not your values, it's not your strengths, it's not your moments of brilliance, it's not your education or the number of certificates you have, it's all of this. It's all of this plus your learned wisdom from everything that's gone wrong, all your mistakes and missteps along the way. These have taught you something valuable. These have gifted you a unique perspective on the world, on what it takes for you and your dream client to succeed. So you want to embrace all of these things, your vision, your values, your strengths, your weaknesses, your mistakes, everything that has gone into helping you create your business your way, that have given you that vision, have given you that philosophy on what works. So in the Value Whispering Blueprint, my signature program, there's one part of that, the value weaving part, which is all about marketing, messaging, and sales, and setting up simple processes that are going to help you be consistent through all of that. And that's the thing that my clients want. That's what they come to me for. But my philosophy, my life experience has taught me that that is not enough. from my work in women's networks, from my work doing leadership communication coaching, through my work training and coaching communication professionals and marketing professionals, I've learned two things that were really important for me to build into my system and the way I coach my clients. The first is that nobody's taught how to communicate. No one is taught how to communicate. No one is encouraged, or very few people, I should say. I'm sure there are some people out there who have this experience, but not many people are ever taught how to find their true value and tell people about that. So when you start your own business and you have to suddenly say, hey, do you want to work with me? I'm amazing. We don't have the tools or the confidence to do that in a way that feels natural, that doesn't feel all braggy and pushy and aggressive, which we don't want to be, because we may have experienced that. We know it's not right. And it just doesn't sit right for anyone who started their business to help people to kind of take that more aggressive approach to marketing and sales. So first, there is this skills gap. People don't know how to communicate effectively, and fear on top of that, because we don't know how to do it and we don't want to come across as pushy or aggressive. We have a fear of communicating our value. Those two things I wanted to tackle first. So the first part of the program is looking at a true value. But I wouldn't have got that if I hadn't lived through that experience and made mistakes myself. I know in my first business I burned out because I wasn't clear on my true value and who my dream client was and the impact I wanted to be creating and the purpose that was meaningful for me. All of that was missing. So although I was working with amazing clients, I was doing a great job, I was paid extremely well. Without that part, I burnt out because it didn't feel meaningful and impactful and that I was in the right place. And my work with women's networks taught me that what is most meaningful for women is not necessarily the paycheck and the status, as in the job title we have, it's the contribution. Not that we don't want a decent job title and to be well paid. Of course, we need that. But that sense of using our skills and experience to make a contribution is what drives us most. So having this first piece, really understanding your true value, needs to come first before you start with the marketing and sales. If you don't have that in place, your marketing and sales feels empty. It doesn't connect with anyone because there's nothing really behind it. It's just doing the same as everyone else, saying the same thing. And then today, in the world of AI, it's easier and easier just to blend in and say the same as what everyone else is saying. It sounds nice, but it doesn't have that experience and learned wisdom and passion behind it. The other thing that I've learned is that knowing what to do and what to say and how to do it is not enough. We also need to believe in our ability to create a difference for that to happen. So we need to know our true value, we need to believe in it, and then our marketing and messaging rings true, it resonates with people, and we enjoy it. It feels like the right thing to do. It feels more natural. Everything is aligned and works much better. So that's why I say that, once you know your true value and your dream client, and you see where the two overlap, that's what I call your value sweet spot, build everything from here, you have less resistance. It all feels straightforward, natural, it resonates with the right people, it gets results. And so therefore it's smoother. And I love the phrase, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So it creates this smooth path for you and your clients to follow together. And that's fast because you're building that relationship from day one. And when you weave your value through your marketing, you naturally stand out. And therefore, you don't have to shout. You don't have to buy into these loud, pushy, aggressive tactics that don't feel right. And therefore, it's much easier to be consistent, to put yourself out there when you're playing to your strengths and you know that your marketing and your messaging is already having a positive difference. So that comes back to the contribution part again. And when your visibility plan is designed around you, showing up feels so much more straightforward. And because, again, you're playing into your strengths, you're doing things in a way that feels right for you and your personality, it's not draining. It's when you're pushing it against what feels right for you, pushing against your personality, things feel really difficult. I've had numerous clients join my program who've worked with other business coaches who were like, just send 100 messages a day. And the way they were asking them to do that and the messaging they were putting there felt really pushy and aggressive. So ultimately, they would stop. If you're not doing what feels right, you stop. You don't keep doing it. And they weren't getting the results because it wasn't aligned with their personality. There are people out there who get amazing results from that approach, but it aligns with their personality. They can make that work. If you are someone who is more introverted or just someone who doesn't like showing up that way as pushy and aggressive. And of course, a lot of extroverts fall into that camp as well. They find it more easy to take action, maybe, but they still want that action to be meaningful and to feel like the right action and in alignment with who they are and the experience they want to create for their clients. It all needs to feel aligned. So when you're playing to your strengths, everything feels right. You're making that difference. Your marketing is easier and it gives you energy and it builds momentum faster because you're being more consistent, because your message feels more significant and is landing well with your dream client, then this momentum builds really quickly. If you're pushing against the tide, being aggressive, this momentum doesn't build in the same way. It may build fast, but it won't be sustainable. So you may get this quick spike, but you won't be able to maintain that over time, which is what builds your business. And when you're feeling proud, and for a lot of my clients, the thing that they say they want more than anything else is to feel proud of the work they're doing, the impact they're having, and the results they're getting for themselves and their clients. And when you feel that impact, then everything changes. Your confidence grows, and so does your ability to dream big, to attract the right people into your business to collaborate with, to help you grow, the right team members. And in my TEDx talk, I say it's like a kaleidoscope effect. So I liken this whole process to mining for diamonds. First, you have to dig deep to find that seam rich in potential. Then you find that rock and chip away to reveal the gem inside. And then you have that gem, you start to shape it and polish it. And when you share that diamond with the world and the light hits it, that light refracts in all different directions. And any surface it touches, it casts this beautiful rainbow. And when you are weaving your value through everything you do, you're not always necessarily aware of the impact that you're having, but that impact is going out into the world in all these different directions and having this magic kaleidoscope effect, I like to call it, on anyone that your message touches. And at first, you just need to trust that that's happening. But I just love the messages I get from people who have read my book, A Shy Girl's Guide to Networking, from clients, from people who've been to some of my masterclasses, members of my community. They get my emails and they're turning up and saying, thank you. You said this and it changed this for me. So before someone even pays me and becomes a client, my words and thoughts and insights and perspectives and everything that life has taught me to get me to this point, I can share that in ways that are having an impact. And every time someone writes and says, thank you, that spurs me on even more to share more of this. And yeah, I want the clients and I want to have a sustainable business and I want to be earning a good income. But it's this contribution that helps me to show up on a regular basis. So if you don't have a message that really encapsulates everything that's unique and special about you, and it's positioned in a way that's going to make a difference for your clients, then you're missing out on this kaleidoscope effect, on having this impact on other people. And you won't build the momentum. You'll struggle to be consistent because, there's something just jars all the time. And this is when we burn out as well. When we're doing things that don't feel right to our heart, to our values, then this is one of the ways that people start to burn out. And that was exactly my experience of my first business. So hopefully this has given you some insight as to how important it is to find that way to market, to sell, and to grow your business in a way that's completely aligned with who you are. because success in business, I believe, is not about shouting louder, but about resonating deeper. And nothing attracts clients faster than a message that hits home. I recently packaged all the insights that I share with my clients into a short Introverts business growth playbook to share with you some of the strategies that work for you, not just if you're an introvert, but if you're someone who wants to market their business in a way that feels aligned and meaningful, then go and download that. It's free. You'll find it in, well, three ways, really. You can go to bonus.melittacampbell.com/growth-playbook. I know that's quite a lot of words. So the simpler way is go to melittacampbell.com, and on the top of my screen, the very first link there is you can click that and it will take you directly to the playbook. Or you can go to LinkedIn. You'll find me there at Melitta. That's Melitta with 2 T's. And come and connect with me while you're there. And if you scroll down to my featured section, you'll find the link there as well. So those are 3 ways you can get hold of the playbook for yourself. Oh, a 4th way, I'm going to put the link in the show notes. So if you go to melittacampbell.com/podcast, you will find the show notes and all of the links and extra information that goes with all of these episodes. So if you go there, you'll find a link to the playbook there as well. So do go and download that, because it puts a bit more detail and the practical side to go alongside what I've just shared with you. So if this idea of having meaningful, aligned marketing that encapsulates everything that's unique and special about you in a way that can have an impact with your ideal clients, then you'll get a lot from that playbook. So I hope you found this helpful, and you're going to take this permission to do marketing in a way that feels right for you, because if it works for you, it works. And do come and let me know what stood out for you from today's message, and how are you going to take that learning and or insight and apply it in your business to make a change. And if you need help with that, then do reach out. I have the Value Whispering Blueprint program, which has been specifically designed to take you through this program over a period of 12 months. It doesn't take that long to get the results. The results are all front loaded within the first 2 to 3 months. And then you have access to me twice a week as you implement, as you grow, because that's when you have the real questions and when the real learning happens, and we can start to help you grow that business and impact. You'll find all the details of that at valuewhispering.com. I'm Melitta Campbell, your business coach and value whisperer, and I'll be back here again next Wednesday. So I look forward to seeing you then. Bye.